fatigue. I'm so glad you're with me, and I'm going to ask for your patience one more time. I'm going to work on a project tonight, and I haven't even made it before. I've made flowers like this before, but I haven't used this material. And this is a material, yes, I know it's buffalo plaid. Yes, I know it's red and black. Yes, I know the last few videos I've put out have been buffalo plaid, red and black, check. Yes, I am slightly obsessed with buffalo plaid. I will admit it. No shame in my game here. But what I wanted to show you was what was different about this was this is mesh. It's fabric. It's called Decorative fabric, and it's from Walmart. And a lot of you have been picking it up and have been making things with it in my Wreath Creators and More group. And if you're not in that group, go ahead and make sure you click the link below and join. So I figured I'm going to get some of this decorative fabric is what it's called. It almost feels like it's got some burlap in it. I'm not really sure. But I thought we're going to make a wreath out of it because I know that a lot of times the materials I use you have to order online, and this is something you can just simply go to Walmart and pick up. And Walmart has really upped their game this season as far as Christmas decorations and materials. So anyway, so I thought we would work on a flower wreath using this material. I'm going to use the buffalo check. They have red, and I do believe they had some other colors. I'm not totally sure, but this is what I picked up. So this is what I'm going to use tonight. So the first thing we're going to do, and I also have this, I'm not sure if we're going to use this, I think I'm going to use this roping for the center. But before I get started on this, we're going to work on the flower first. And I also wanted to kind of show you, this is all I have left of the roll. This I was able to cut with a wood burner. And I will be telling you that I'm getting my words mixed up here. I will tell you that I was surprised that I could cut this with a wood burner, just because the feel of it. Yes, it feels like fabric, it feels like cotton, maybe a little bit of burlap in there. And normally you can't cut burlap, so I don't think that burlap is in this. I'm not really sure what's in it. But I was able to cut it, so I'm just going to show you what I did here. And because this is 10.5 inches wide, we're going to cut it at 10.5 inches. So let me do this, and it'll be a little bit. I only have one more to cut. So let's just put it at the 10-inch mark. I'm going to take my wood burner, and if you hear my doggy, that's the tip that I like to use. And I'm going to leave in the description below my Amazon store. And in my Amazon store, I have everything I use that you will see I'm using here. I have it in my store. So let's just cut this at about 10.5 inches. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it is good to kind of keep it a perfect square if you can. So that I was able to cut. So I'm going to turn off my wood burner, because you should always turn it off when you're not using it, and you should always wear a mask when using it. Okay, so I'll be right back and we will get started. Okay, so we're going to get started. I am going to use a 10-inch wreath frame tonight. If you want to use a 12-inch, I know that Walmart sells 12-inch frames. You would just have an extra section in your wreath, so you would just need to add that many extra petals. So what I want to do before I get started, we are going to actually not use the zip ties like I normally show you, but I'm going to use pipe cleaners. So I'm going to take a pipe cleaner for each of these crossbars, and I'm going to put it right there, okay? I'm going to put one and then fold it in half. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because the type of petal we're going to do it, and basically we're doing the original sunflower tutorial that I did, oh my goodness, 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I can't even remember when I did it on YouTube. I'd have to go back and look at the dates. I had done a tutorial for a blog called Brillo Designs, and eventually I did my first YouTube video, and I'll share the link below. So what I'm going to do is I have all of these pipe cleaners, and I'm just going to meet them. I'm going to start with 2, and I'm just going to twist those 2 together in the middle of my wreath form. So I'm going to take the next one. I know this might look a little confusing. I'm going to take this next one and I'm going to twist it around. That middle twist. Take the next one. And you can use the plastic grid, the canvas that I've used many times as well. But this is just what I'm going to do for this one. And it does not need to be perfect. And I'm just going to twist it. So we're going to kind of create a star. And even my star is kind of wonky there, but that's okay. It's not going to show. And then I'm just going to twist some of these zip ties around the bars that I created with those pipe cleaners. Now, doesn't that look like a hot mess? But it's okay. It's really, what we wanted to do is we wanted to make extensions into the middle of this frame. And you know what? I'm going to take a little zip tie and connect these two to kind of make the bars go more evenly. Okay. Okay, so that's all you're going to do. So what do we do first? We're going to take a chenille stem, and I'm going to start on the outside of this bar, and I'm going to twist my chenille stem over. So I have one coming out this way, and then I go underneath that bracket and then loop over that bar so that this isn't going to go anywhere once I put my first petals on. So I'm going to take our first petal and I'm going to meet in the middle. I'm going to just gather it and I'm going to flip it over, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to lay it in between that pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to twist it. I'm going to do one twist. Now I'm going to do that again and lay over top another petal. I'm going to lay it right in there. Okay, so at this point, and I like the way that this is really laying, it's just laying really nice. I'm going to go forward. I'm not going to go too far forward. I'm going to take one of my petals or of my pipe cleaners over here and take the other on the other side, and then I'm going to twist it underneath. Okay, just to kind of secure it a little bit more. And then I will just clip this. All right, so that is our first petal. So the next place I'm going to add is I'm going to add one right here. The same way, and I'm just going to do that bracket. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add two petals here on each of the brackets, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I have the first petals laid out all on that outer bracket. So the next spot is we are going to go in between these petals, and we are going to put a not zip tie. I am not working with zip ties today. I'm showing you chenille stems. We're going to put it in between here. So let me show you on another wreath frame to kind of show you. So to explain this, I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see better. So we just put two petals on each of these brackets on the ends, this end and this end, okay, right there. So we did that all the way around, and so now we're going to move up and we are going to take our chenille stem and wrap it around these two wires, and we're going to put two petals in between each of these brackets, okay? So now that we're going to do that, let's do it. Let me show you anyways. Okay, so I have my chenille stem or pipe cleaner, whatever you like to call it. I just lay it in between. You can do a twist if you want, and that makes it easier for you. Whatever way you want to do it, it will be fine. So you're just going to do your petal the same way. You just take your curl side up, meet in the middle, and then you're just simply going to gather it and then flip it over. And I really like this material. I wish you could feel it. It does feel like a fabric, like a rough fabric. So I really am happy with that. Okay, so we're going to put one there and one directly on top of it. All right, so once I twist this a couple times to make sure it's not going to go anywhere, I'm going to go forward with the pipe cleaners, and I'm just going to wrap them around. One is going to go, I'm going to see here, one is going to go on one side of that front wire here and behind the wire, and then I'm just going to twist it on that wire, just to kind of make sure that it is secured just a little bit more. And what that does, it brings up your petals a little bit too. So you might want to say, oh, that's too much. You know, you might want to loosen that up if it stands up too high, but it will give you some volume on your flower. So I'm going to go and put 2 petals here, 2 here, 2 and 2, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've put the 2 petals on that inside or the middle of our bracket. So now we want to do the final petals on the inside of our wreath. Now, if you had like a big sign or something that you wanted to fill this and wanted to put it on right now, go right ahead. But I'm going to make a smaller center for this wreath. So because this is just so different from like poly burlap that I usually am using, I am going to take a pipe cleaner and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to show you in a moment. Okay. So what I did is, if you look really close, I put the pipe cleaner on the inside bracket. Okay. It's on this side and it comes out on the other side of that pipe cleaner. So if you look down here, if I turn this over, and I know it's kind of black and it's hard to see, but we're going to put our 1 petal here, 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 and here. So wherever those cross brackets are now, we're going back to those brackets and putting a petal. Okay? So originally, you started with your cross brackets. You put 2 petals all the way around, and then you went to the second section, which is the middle section, and we put 2 in between those cross brackets. So here's your cross bracket, and so we put 1 here, here, there, there, and there. So now we're going to go back to that cross bracket and put 1 petal on each of those cross brackets. Now, if you were using poly burlap or deco mesh, you would probably need 2 petals. But because this is such a stiffer and bulkier product, we're only going to use 1 petal. So again, I'm just going to do the same technique, nothing different, very simple, and I'm going to put it in my pipe cleaner. So, and make sure that you don't lay your hands down or your arms down on your wreath. You want to keep this as voluminous as you possibly can. So don't put too much pressure down on your wreath. So I've twisted it, and so now I'm just going to take each pipe cleaner and go on each side of that bracket that I made with the other pipe cleaners. So it's right here, and I'm just going to twist it. Cut that off and wrap it around some more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and do each petal on each of those brackets, and I'll be right back. Alright, we have our wreath already done. I even filmed a section doing this rope, and when I tried to do it, I got too much glue, and I don't have a big enough round foam piece for this, so I'm going to have to kind of deviate from my plan here. If you try this, I would try it on a bigger round circle and then cut it in half and then do it that way. I do have a video where I did that, and I will show you. I will leave the link below. So since we're not going to do this, we're going to just improvise and do something else. So we are going to use the black rope that you can get at Hobby Lobby. So let's see here. Is this big enough? I think this is going to be big enough. Okay. So I just have 2 pieces of scrap black felt and remember the coasters that our grandmas used to do when we were kids? At least my grandma did. She would make us coasters out of yarn. That's what I'm going to use, and this is like a 4.5-inch round coaster. So I'm going to cut these 2 pieces of felt, and they're going to line this coaster for us and help make our base for the black ribbon here. And I say ribbon because this is in the ribbon aisle at Hobby Lobby. So all I'm going to do, I know that's not like perfect circles or anything. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just going to put some glue on one side here. I'm going to take my, let's get this out of the way, my coaster. I'm going to put it on some more glue and put the other black felt on top of it. So this makes a base for our center. I'm going to take my sharp scissors. These are in my Amazon store as well. The link is below. I'm going to make 2 holes about 1/2 inch apart in the middle. I'm going to run a piece of wire through it. And I never get it right totally in the middle. I'm even off there a little bit. You know what? I'm going to make another hole so that I'm a little bit more in the center here. So you're just going to run your wire through, and then this wire here is what's going to go in the center of our wreath and will hold down our center. So I'm just going to take this and always, let's see here, and I'm going to take, okay, so I have these cutters, and let me grab them really quick here. And these again are in my Amazon store as well, something very, either these or something very similar to it. And they're very sharp and they just cut really nice. They cut big things nice. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the middle of my felt here. That gets us started. And I know it's a little harder to see because this is black, but the key is getting it started, and you're going to kind of go over the edge. So I'm going to kind of hold this down, and I'll show you in a moment here. Got to wait for that glue to dry. Wish it was instantaneous. So if you look here, I've got it, I don't know if you can see that, kind of folded in a way, and so I'm going to take this and go over top of where our cut part was, and then we're just going to go a circle all the way across, or all the way until we get to the end. So you're going to put a little bit of glue, and be really careful because black shows the glue. It really does. You can take a black Sharpie and go over it, but it does show the glue. And you're just going to hold it down while you're turning it around and add some more. Pretty simple. If you're worried about like heat, you could use the Gorilla glue sticks. You know, if you're worried about if this is going to be in a hot climate. The more you get along around, you can add a bigger strip of glue like I just did. So I went ahead and I glued all the way around, and as you can see kind of how it's kind of a little lopsided, but that's okay. It's all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I'm going to end it. I'm going to cut a piece off right here with my nice clippers. I need it. This is a what do you call it, a straight edge, and so, or blade, and so I need to replace that, and this has blades in it, so it really cuts really nice. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more glue to the center, and I need to cut some more black felt. Let's see here. We're going to use a piece of this. We just need a strip, okay? We don't need a lot. Okay, so I'm going to go back through here and I'm going to add a little bit more glue. And then we're going to glue it. We're going to put some glue right here. and lay this rope on top of it. Okay, and I'm going to hold it really well here. I'm going to get my wire out of the way. And then I'm going to take this little piece of felt and I'm going to put some glue on it. I don't think I need the whole piece here. I'm running out of glue. And I'm going to put it over top of where the rope is laying, just to kind of have another little place to have it secured. Can you see that? Kind of hard to see on the screen there, but I think you can understand what I'm doing, okay? So I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to come back once this is nice and dry, and we're going to put it in our flower. Okay, so now we're going to just take our black center, and I'm just going to run it through the center of my flower. I'm going to catch the wires down below, and I'm not going to pull it down too tightly because I want it just to lay there to kind of be, you know, I'm going to turn my light down a little bit. Maybe that helps. I don't know if you can see it better that way. There you go. I think you can see it a little bit better now. So I'm just going to twist it. Oops, dropped it there. I'm just going to twist it. And then, let's see, where's my wire cutters? There they are. And we're going to bend it over. And that is your flower wreath. I think that's super cute. This is material you can run to Walmart and get. We did use 25 pieces cut at 10.5 inches. So you're looking at least buying 2 rolls of this. I will warn you that I did cut 1 roll and part of it was defective, so I'm going to take that back to Walmart and get my money back. But if you're just wanting to learn how to do a flower wreath and you don't want to order the products from online, Walmart has a good option for you this holiday season, and this is in their stores in their holiday Christmas section. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I think the lighting is a little bright. I apologize for that. But make sure to like and subscribe, and it will encourage me to do more. If you watched all the way through to the end of this video, leave me a flower emoji and let me know. That will help me so much. Make sure you join Wreath Creators and More, and check out my Amazon shop for any of the products that I use in this video. Have a wonderful evening.